Hey YouTube, my name is Sven, welcome to the Metal Foundry. In this video I want to show you the first part of my guitar collection because I have 11 guitars and I would like to tell you the story of how I got each guitar and what it actually means to me and how I use it today. So without further ado, let's dig in. The first guitar that I have here is my Tanglewood TW12NS. This is an acoustic guitar. This is my very first guitar. This is also what started it all. I got this from my parents, and this is the first guitar that I used to when I started out taking guitar lessons. I absolutely love this guitar. It has a lot of sentimental value for me. It's the very first instrument that I really enjoyed playing. Not the first that I learned to play. I remember I had to learn to play a recorder when I was in secondary school or whatever. But this is the very first instrument that I learned to play and that I really enjoyed to learn to play willingly. So, guitar is 18 years old. I still use it every once in a while. I still use it to noodle some acoustic tracks, to jam a little bit when I'm sitting in my living room or whatever. I might retire it someday, but I don't think I will ever get rid of it. The second guitar I got here is the first Epiphone. It's also my first electric guitar I ever had. A lot of sentimental value for me as well, because this is also what started all. This is the first guitar I bought for myself, the first guitar I used in my band. In my very first band, I played my very first show with it. It has been modded a bit. I have changed the standard plastic pickguard for a stainless steel one. This one was lasered out by my godfather. He is a metal worker and he plotted it out. I gave him the original pickguard and he traced it for me, and then he lasered it out, and then together with my dad, I drilled the holes to fit it to the guitar. And I really loved playing it. It's now also 17 years old and it's retired now. It's now in my living room as a work of art, as a reminder of where it all started for me. There's also lots of dings, damages, scratches. Even has a crack in the neck here. It fell from 3 meters high, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it must be 3. Yeah, 3 meters high. I remember before I went to guitar lessons, I had to go to school and I took this one with me and I put it somewhere above to I think it was in the teacher's room that could store it on top of a shelf somewhere, but I didn't know there was a gap behind the shelf, so I put my guitar there and I want to really reach out and then shift it more towards the back to get it really far away from the edge, and then all of a sudden, bang! My guitar fell down. That was a really scare. I think I must have been pale as hell all of a sudden. I checked the guitar immediately. There was no damage at first sight, but then I arrived at the guitar lessons and I saw there was a crack here. I have it repaired a couple of years ago and I still use it live even with the crack. So it's, I'm not sure if it was real deep, but time to retire. Once I bought a second one of this as well, I sold it to a friend who wanted to play guitar, and I thought this was an ideal guitar to start out with. This one is made in Korea in the Unsung factory, where all the great Korean Epiphones came from, because they've moved their production to China. The second guitar I want to show you is another Epiphone. This is a Les Paul Custom Prophecy Plus, the EX version. EX stood for the EMG version. You had also the GX version, which came with passive Gibson Dirty Fingers pickups. This one is loaded with EMGs. It came with a case. It has 24 frets. Nice heavy body. I've never used this one live. A couple of years ago, I lived in France and I wanted to move back to Belgium, so I quit my job. And as a goodbye gift, my colleagues gave me a gift certificate from a music store in Paris. And this is where I bought this guitar. So great guitar, but I don't use it that often, unfortunately. I'm playing much more I use this mainly in my studio here and to jam a little bit and to noodle a bit. My fourth guitar is another Epiphone. This one is an Epiphone Gothic Les Paul Studio with a kill switch. I bought this one secondhand last year. I've always wanted to have this guitar originally before I bought my SG, but at the time that I wanted to buy this guitar, There was none in store. The only guitar that was there was the SG, and that I've showed you. And I didn't have any patience. They said, yeah, we can order you the Les Paul if you want to have the Les Paul. And I said, nah, I don't want to wait. I want to have the guitar right away. So I bought the SG. Yeah, this one is tuned in standard tuning. I've used it for my metal guitar on a budget. I've never used it live. I'm planning of maybe putting EMGs in it, but I'm not sure because, yeah, I also like the kill switch mechanism. So, not really figured out what I want to do with this. This guitar is a special one. This is, yeah, one of my most prized possessions that I bought this year. This one is an Epiphone Gothic Flying V in near mint condition. I absolutely love the guitar from when I saw it. I bought a second hand for 300 euros, which was a steal, because this guitar is made in 2002 in the Korean unsung factory that made the absolutely great Epiphone guitars. It's even with a standard American bridge instead of the Korean bridges, where, you know, the screw pieces here are much thinner. Yeah, I haven't used it live. I've played it once or twice. Yeah, thinking of upgrading it a bit, putting new pickups in it like Seymour Duncan Black Winners or EMGs. I'm not sure. I will have to figure out. Maybe I will put some EMGs in to see how it looks like. But I also like the open pole design. So yeah, maybe I can go for Black Winners and make some very dark music with it. Great guitar. It's very light. And I've always dreamt of having a Flying V, especially since I saw Static X's The Only video clip. And yeah, it's very hard to find a real Wayne Static signature, and I think this one comes as close as possible. And last but not least, the guitar that also started my YouTube channel. This one is the Schecter Hellraiser Solo 2 that I won in a Kickstarter contest. I've played this guitar, I've used this guitar for 2 live shows so far with the band Hopi Rose that I play in. Absolutely love it, sounds great in combination with my Black Star Series 1. Yeah, great guitar, very happy that I won it. I'm still very grateful to Schecter and to Ricardo Falcon. And if you want more information, I suggest you look at that video as well. So that was an overview of the first part of my guitar collection. I will make a follow-up video to show you the second part of my guitar collection, because then I will show you my LTDs and my bass guitars. So if you have questions and comments on this video, let them know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you like my channel and want to help me grow my channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video, which will be every single week. My name is Sven, and you've been watching the Metal Foundry. See you, bye bye.